Hey guys, Brad here.
And Stu, stuck in traffic.
Hey Stu, how you doing this week?
I am doing wonderful after that second win. It just felt wonderful. It's like it's week 6 and I'm losing 4 games and only won 2.
Well,
I should have beat Dixon in week 3 and it would have been 3-3 and Dixon would have been 3-3, but no. Anyways, it feels good though.
okay.
Feeling wonderful, fancy free.
If we were talking about earlier. Hold on one second, Stu. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, and I had to remove a dog from the studio. So, but yeah, Stu, what I was going to say is apparently the judge in the Ezekiel Elliott ruling is going to go ahead and he's going to make a ruling by the end of the day today. And the NFL says they'll uphold it. So Sam will know if he gets Zeke or not. And then, if not, well then Lovick and you, one of y'all is going to know if you got a Dallas starter or not. And Matt's just going to be desperate with Rod Smith because he's not going to get any carries.
No, Matt's going to be real upset about your fake post that he should have never listened to.
I love those fake Twitter machines.
It was amazing. I was looking at rosters today, looking at different stuff just to make sure we got all the injury reports, and I saw that, and I couldn't help but laugh out loud. It was amazing. Yeah. It was pretty glorious.
Well, and
I don't even know that me and Lovick will know immediately. Most likely it'll be a split kind of a situation, or we won't. They'll say one thing or they'll do another. So it's really going to be game dependent. They're going to really decide whoever's the hot hand. Maybe it really won't know until we see an actual game where Zeke is not playing, and it's either McFadden or Morris. It's really one of us is going to win, but nobody knows until the game.
Exactly. Well, maybe you can be the deciding vote in this. We'll go off script a little bit. Vince does not like the Negan character on Walking Dead. I like the Negan character. It comes back this Sunday. You're the deciding vote.
I'm not caught up in this season at all. They're still in the prison. Is the last time I watched that shit.
well then we'll go ahead and make that a vote for me. I win. Vince, you lose. But you know what? The Walking Dead isn't the only thing that has zombies, Stu. That's right. Yep, fantasy zombies. You're right. We do have some zombies, and we had some this past Sunday. And I kind of want to go over them with you and to see if they have any relevance moving forward. I do feel like most of them do. We have Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, formerly with the Bengals.
He was so hot last year at the beginning of 2006. Was just going, everybody was like, man, he's going to be a top wide receiver. And the second half of the season just kind of dropped off. This year, he's just kind of been irrelevant. But yeah, this last week, he went crazy.
Well, I will say this about Marvin Jones. In the beginning of the year, he faced defenses that had a corner that would cover. They would shadow. And so he would always get the number one corner because he's the big, long touchdown threat. And, Golden Tate's the more of a slot type receiver. Well, now, Golden Tate's hurt, going to miss a little bit. Marvin Jones is always going to be a red zone threat. And I think with him being out for a little while, I think Marvin Jones is a hot commodity to have moving forward, at least for the short term.
For the short term, for sure. I kind of also think that game just kind of got ridiculous, and they were like, hey, let's see if we can hit 100 points. So that may have been part of it, but yes, with Golden Tate out, Jones definitely gets a bump.
And not to toot my own horn, but I did make the Marvin Jones call last week and said he would be a good waiver wire pickup for this Sunday.
Yeah, I still don't know if it's really the game, the way the game worked out, or him himself, or the injury, or really what actually caused it. We'll have to see this week.
Okay.
But our second zombie of the week would be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
The Harvard man. Yeah, Jameis Winston went down, and old Captain Harvard came in and looked pretty good. He's a gunslinger.
I didn't even know he was still in the NFL.
With a beard like that, you can never
I
retire.
thought he died last year sometime. I don't know. I was expecting to see him on like a highlight reel. We will remember you kind of thing going on. Like, haven't heard a word about this guy. So
Well,
it was kind of funny to see the stash pop back up.
Yep, he is a gunslinger, and when you got a weapon like Mike Evans, why not just throw it up?
Yeah, I mean it might be something because
And
Winston's been kind of. I mean he's been doing all right, but it's like late in the game, and he's okay for fantasy, and but the rest of the other 3 quarters, if he played like he did in the 4th quarter, he would be amazing.
Yeah, and then the other guy we got is Chris Ivory, who really, let's face it, he doesn't have any value unless Fournette goes down. But he had like a bunch of receptions, had a touchdown, looked real good.
How do you feel on your bench?
Yeah, he is definitely on my bench because I wanted Fournette's handcuff before the game started.
Well, my question more was like, how did he feel that him being on your bench? I mean, I know Fournette went.
Oh, I felt amazing. I didn't feel good about Fournette possibly being hurt, but man, you already have that handcuff on your bench. You don't have to worry about spinning Wab. After I went to the Dalvin Cook situation, I felt a lot better.
We talked about it last week, and you picked him up.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to that later this segment. I definitely want to tell people to get their handcuffs. And then we got Larry Fitzgerald, who's done it a few times this year already.
Yeah, the old man himself. I mean, he's been doing all right throughout the season, but he just went nuts this last game.
Yeah, he did.
And then the king of all comeback kings.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Peterson. Rodney loves the guy, except for the fact that Rodney didn't play. I don't doubt that he will probably do all right from now on. Now, do I think he'll put up 23 to 30 points a game for the rest of the season? No. But as long as I think that's really what he was missing in the Saints. He needs volume.
Exactly.
To go off, he's going to get volume with the Cardinals because that's what they love their pass catching back, and they needed one. Chris Johnson just wasn't that guy, didn't fit into that scheme, and I think Peterson is going to work out pretty well here with Cardinals. I just don't know that he's going to be that guy every single week.
Yeah, I agree, but with the landscape of the running back situation we have right now, he's a borderline RB1 every week, kind of.
Yeah, at least, low end 1, 2, definitely. So
yeah, definitely RB2.
Yeah.
Rest of the season, Mark Ingram or Adrian Peterson?
I go Mark Ingram.
Yeah. Good news, Rod. You got both. And that thunderstrike, see, that means Sam Bradford struck again.
Oh, Lord.
And boy, did he hit Day-Day hard.
He took a little time off. He wasn't as pissed because he got taken out of the game this week, so he didn't go so crazy. He only took out 2 players for one team, and the rest of everybody else just got 1 player. But Day-Day was the unlucky soul. The power of Christ did not protect him on this one.
No, it did not.
And it really, Sam Bradford put some extra juju in here because it was like first play.
Yeah, at least like the fourth quarter.
He went for the king of the castle. He just went for it all.
Aaron Rodgers fractured clavicle on his throwing side, out for the season. Done. They thought it could be shorter, but he's not coming back for us.
It's on its throwing arm this time around. It's not like it was last time where it was on the opposite side.
Yep.
They're going to have surgery to fix this one. It's not something he can just sit there and let heal. There are reports that potential that he can come back for the NFL playoffs, but as far as fantasy goes, yeah, he's out. He's done.
And then,
So Data needs to just drop him, but I don't know. He may be waiting for the waivers to drop him.
Yeah, I probably would just wait and see if somebody drops somebody good. And then we got old Golden Tate, AC joint sprains week to week. Good thing for Detroit, they have their bye week this week. So
good. He actually had a pretty good week, and it was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam Bradford struck again. I think he'll be back pretty soon. I mean, he may miss. I mean, I would assume for sure this week, maybe next week. Kind of already talked today, and he's pretty hardcore against trading these days because he needs all the players he's got, and he didn't want to get rid of his skill positions because he's got 2 big skill positions just went down. So yeah, he's playing a little down. I'm playing him this week. I don't think his remaining team is going to do so well without Rodgers. Eli Manning last night, though, or not last night, Sunday night. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
that was just hilarious. Like, one of the top defenses in the league goes down to the 0-4 Giants. No name wide receivers abundant.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Ingram is your new best friend there, Brad.
Well, speaking of wide receivers, Rod took a little bit of a hit with Emmanuel Sanders, out multiple weeks. Like I said, he rolled it in that game. So
I know, he just got him back off of the bye, and now he's gone.
Yeah, so
he's
like
multiple weeks. So I mean, I don't
the
know
waiver
how
giveth with Adrian Peterson, and Sam Bradford taketh away with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, when the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away is what happened there, Rod.
I also got another thing on Rod that just came up, which it might interest you. It involves DeMarco Murray. They're saying he is still dealing with hamstring tightness, still dealing with it since training camp, and saying that Henry's to have more carries. And per the coach, he's going to be their 4th quarterback.
Yeah.
So for you being a Derrick Henry owner, that looks good because usually defenses are worn out in the 4th quarter, and that's when he can bust one like he did last night.
Yeah, I was, okay that I didn't have him on my roster, but at the same time, it would have been nice to have he ended up being like the 5th wide running back of the week or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've seen multiple articles and different things about DeMarco and Hunter Henry, or not Hunter Henry, but Derrick Henry, about where they stated if he had under 15 carries a game, they were down by close to 15 points a game. Like, they lose 15 points a game. Not even that he necessarily scores, but he opens up the field that much that Mariota was able to either throw better, or they're kind of worried about him and he can pass the ball, or he gets it through and gets a touchdown himself. So they were looking to up his receptions and carries already. And then, DeMarco last night, his injury kind of limited him, and so Derrick Henry's looking to get some extra shares, so it might work out for me in the end.
Yeah, and then speaking of another Denver wide receiver that got banged up, Old Copra has Demaryius Thomas, and he's week to week with sprained ankle. They did an X-ray and a MRI on his lower leg, and they were negative, so no structural damage, but he'll be limited. And the way Trevor Siemian's been throwing recently, looks like Denver's probably just going to rely on that run game for a while.
Yeah, I think they have Demaryius Thomas's game time decision for Sunday, most likely, Friday or Sunday. So I don't know that Koprovic's going to necessarily want to play him, but I don't think Denver's going to take any chances, really. They especially with Sanders out for a longer period, they're probably going to play it safe here and probably not going to end up playing this week. But he should be fine after that. I
agree. And then Mo got hit. Luckily, he has Dak Prescott was on bye, and he's on his bench. So he lost his bye week quarterback in Jameis Winston. AC joint sprain day to day. The X-rays and MRI came back clean. But it's kind of a deal. Like how much pain can he deal with, and how much does it affect his throwing? I think he's probably going to miss a week or two because he's their franchise quarterback, and they probably don't really want to push it too hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say Ryan Fitz did all right, and I think they're going to be okay with another week. I don't think they're going to rush him back. They're going to try to make sure he's good for the rest of the season, and hopefully try to probably run it out a little bit and let Doug Martin and that running core kind of work it out, but let Fitz throw it. So, I don't think he's coming back this week, but if he is, it's going to be a game-time decision most likely.
And then I had a real good scare. All of a sudden, it was Leonard Fournette went down with an ankle, and it looked the video made it look worse than what it was. But apparently, all he did was twist it. Didn't go to the locker room. He stayed on the sideline. They taped it. There was only 2 minutes left in the game. Coach said he could have went back out there, but they just went ahead and stuck with Chris Ivory, who's more of their pass catching back, anyways.
I watched a video on that injury, and kind of it was a doctor commentating about that injury. There's a YouTube channel out there and you can watch it. But and so he was commentating on that particular injury that Fournette got. His ankle gave way and caused that sprain, but if it had not, it would have been his knee.
So good thing.
No, for real. Like his ankle gave way in the perfect timing, because if the way it was twisting, it was about to tear an ACL or possibly like another type of knee injury.
Yeah, and if they give Fournette a week to rest, that's okay. I got Chris Ivory, so
yeah,
and it's against the Colts. He'll get his.
He tends to go nuts.
Well. And so I think
that's it for injuries this
week. I think so. I think we can go ahead and move on to
Cold Stone Power Rankings.
Yeah, we go ahead and do some power rankings, and we had some shifting go around, Stu.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Number one, we have Brad himself. I wasn't going to let him announce that he was number one. Just not going to let him do it. I'm at least saving us a little bit here. At number two, we have Day-Day with Aaron Rodgers going down, getting that first loss, your team, and a couple other injuries. Your team's looking a little shaky for the buys. I know you're afraid to trade because you got raped by Brad that first time. So you might need to do something or really focus on the waiver wire this week to get yourself out of this slump. But, yeah, I'm feeling you're going to lose a couple of games in a row here.
Hey, Davey, I got a quarterback I can trade you. But number three, we got Dixon.
Yeah. Lost number 2 in a row for Dixon. And it's
spent the night on the beach, and so did his team.
Yeah, and so his team's looking a little rough there, but he should be able to bounce back. We'll see how that's predicted for this week later on.
Yeah.
Number 4, we have Adam, the Guru.
Woo-hoo, Guru.
Pulling out the win, right? Did he beat Vince this week?
Yeah, he did. No. Adam beat Dixon.
Dixon, there we go. Yeah. So Adam's team's looking pretty good, even with Howard on his bench. I mean, he's like, I don't need him to win. Fuck it, and just put him on his bench, knowing that the reports were saying Howard's going to be heavily used. Like, I talked to him and everything, and he was like, fuck it, I'm going to put him on my bench. I don't believe in him. He got the points and still beats Dixon. So he's still the Guru for sure.
And then number 5, coming up the rankings, we got Rod. Antonio Brown, man, that's about as solid as a player you can have for every Sunday. Like, he's going to get his.
Yeah, he beat Vince, because I remember Vince and him saying good luck to each other. So, Rod had a good win. I think he might have a little bit of a streak going on here and see if he can continue that win streak. At number 6, the person he beat, Mr. Scarves himself, Vincent.
Yeah, his team's kind of starting to unwind a little bit since the Antonio Brown trade.
Yeah, Gurley's not been the same Gurley that he traded for. T.Y. Hilton kind of disappeared last night. So, yeah, Vince is having some trouble here. Murray finally went off for Rod, and now he might be down for a couple of weeks. So, or at least very limited for a couple of weeks here. So,
and the number 7, Lovick himself, he comes up here. Despite losing OBJ, he takes down one of the undefeateds. Now, of course, Day-Day lost, Aaron Rodgers, but still, back-to-back weeks, he's beaten Dixon and Day-Day. Quite impressive.
Yeah, I actually looked it up today and checked to see if he would have played the Texans defense, and if he would have played the Titans kicker, and I think played one of his other wide receivers, he would have beat Lovick still. So he just played he played some bad matchups there. I don't know who would have predicted 21 points for a kicker, but
yeah, nobody does that.
He still did have an opportunity. He just had a lot of points left on the board there.
Yeah.
But,
number 8, we got you, Stu. Yeah, Daddy Daycare, looking good with a win.
Got that win. Needed it bad.
That was much needed. They, despite Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones really not having that big of a game. So if you can sneak out a win when they really don't produce, you're looking even better for the next few weeks because they're going to get theirs.
Oh yeah. Well, they've got to do something. Matt Ryan's got to do something because they were looking great. I mean, they were 17-0, and they let them come back and win it.
Yeah, Julio Jones is going to have some monster games. They are coming.
Yeah, well, the coach has reported saying Julio needs some more targets. Well, who calls the plays? You call the plays. Give him some more targets, then a-hole.
Well, if you need to borrow a shank, the guy below you might give you one. Mo coming in at number 9.
Yeah. Winston going down didn't help your case at all this week. Dak being back looks to be helpful for you.
Yeah, because they'll have to throw.
You've got a couple of interesting pieces here to see how that goes, and we'll see if you can come back and get a win this week.
Yeah.
Coming up 2 spots here at number 10.
Yeah.
Matt Shepard.
He got a much-needed win.
He did.
That was very, very
mainly,
needed.
It's just, I kind of think that it was, a couple of different pieces with stealing your waiver wire pick there, Brad, and getting Phillip Rivers really seemed to help him out.
Yeah, Jarrett McKinnon did Jarrett McKinnon things, and you know what, Matt? Good waste of your wab, sir. Spin. Number 11, CoPro. Once again, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on those the babies. They look like they're doing great. I saw pictures of them today, and it's your anniversary today, so congratulations on that as well.
Happy anniversary!
So there's that. But you are ranked number 11. You are looking a little rough, and
the Aaron Rodgers injury is going to hurt.
As a new toy for your baby, so you might want to work on that.
Well, the Aaron Rodgers injury didn't just hurt Day-Day. It really hurt CoPro because he has Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson.
Well, I guess it hurt Devontae Adams a little bit too. I mean, I know he did pretty good this week, but I'm not sure that will necessarily be a trend that will continue. So
CoPro is going to need CoPro's probably going to need to look at some other wide receivers in the waiver wire, probably add some, maybe do some streaming. But if you do that, you can get out of this hole. I mean, you'll be just fine. And then number 12, the man I'm going to beat this week, the man you beat last week. The Kirk Cousins van's got a flat tire, and that is Sammy with an I. Sam, I am sorry, sir, but you just your team went from what we thought championship caliber to all of a sudden what just happened.
Yeah.
David Johnson getting hurt, Ezekiel Elliott not playing like he's supposed to, then suspension. It's just, you've had a rough go of it, sir. But there's a positive note. He's got Adam Thielen, and he's been looking really good all year. So at least it's one player he knows he can take out there every week and hang his hat on to get at least 10 points.
Well, Kelsey had a rough week this week. The
Yeah,
Chiefs in
Kelsey
general had a
too.
rough week this week. And it didn't really help that Kirk Cousins didn't like Sam's team very much, so he just exploded all over his face. So there was
that didn't help either. He didn't like Sam stealing his van. You don't steal another man's van.
Man, you're fucking with it. So, yeah, there's that.
Well,
There's that. But,
well, I guess we can go ahead and move on from the rankings too.
Show me the money!
Yeah, show them the money, and some of us don't have much left, so we'll be maybe chunking some change out there this week.
yeah.
But
I don't know that there's just. I mean, there's some people out there. There's some different options out there for people that may need some stuff, but it's not anywhere near what it was last week.
No.
We kind of went nuts and went a little crazy, and it's looking like this Sahara Desert out there right now. But, also, reminder, it is week 7 buys. There's only 2 this week, which is kind of nice. Detroit and Houston. So if you have any Texans or Lions, make sure they aren't on your roster.
Oh, the chosen one will take a seat this week. So, quarterbacks. The beard himself, fantasy zombie, Ryan Fitzpatrick, going against Buffalo, his former team. It could be a revenge game. He's a gunslinger. Might be able to get some points. I would rate this as a desperate move, though, despite being a possible revenge game, because Buffalo doesn't give up many passing touchdowns. They're pretty stingy against the receivers. And then we got Blake Bortles going against the Colts. Basically, anybody going against the Colts. And this could be that rare Blake Bortles 35, 40-point game that he has a few times a year.
It might be. I don't know. They're really
it's risky.
Really leaning on that run game. They haven't let him air it out yet, so I don't know how this will go. We'll see on that one. But I personally really like Tyrod Taylor.
He's my favorite because you can stream him for the next 4 weeks, Stu.
Oh, yeah.
Tampa Bay, Oakland, the Jets, and the Saints.
Now, the Saints might be a little interesting one because, I mean, their defense looked kind of crazy this last week. They were nuts. They were scoring touchdowns left and right. but that might go back to the norm here by week 4. But no. With Taylor, and I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of known options at wide receiver, but he keeps passing to McCoy. He's a mobile quarterback himself and likes to run it himself. So he's looking healthy. So I would definitely, if you need a flyer, this would definitely be the guy to go for a buy.
Now, as far as wide receivers, if you're set and you don't need to pick anybody up and you got an extra space, for the love of God, go pick up Mike Williams. I said it last week. He was amazing at Clemson. He is a number 1 wide receiver just waiting in the wings. He's not a possession receiver like Keenan Allen. He's the big play type. So you can just throw it up and he'll take it to the house. He's going to start getting more and more involved in the offense. So it may not be this week, it may not be next week, but toward the second half of the season, I think he's going to be fantasy startable every week.
Oh, it's definitely possible. The Chargers are getting going. They're finally kind of grooving and moving together pretty well. So yeah, they're looking very relevant. So we'll see how that goes. Now Kirk Cousins, my man. He has been looking more and more to Josh Doxson.
Yes, he has. Former first-round pick out of TCU. They love Josh Doxson. And Terrell Pryor and the receivers really haven't been doing what they need to be doing.
No, Pryor has been a dud. He's crying at night over that huge deal that the Browns offered him.
Now, if you can't get either one of those players, there's 2 good stream options you can do. There's Cole Beasley against San Francisco, because San Francisco is just horrible. And then you got Ted Ginn Jr. against Green Bay. Both are I think, good streams. I would probably do Cole Beasley over Ted Ginn. I think Dak Prescott could pepper Cole Beasley a bunch in that San Francisco game.
I would definitely go Beasley with it. He's just kind of a sleeper pick. He's been slowly getting more and more receptions from Dak. They kind of have a connection. They have something kind of going on. Even from last year, they were kind of crazy. So might be catching the Beasles there.
Yep.
But yeah, and so we'll go ahead and go over to the running backs. Orleans Darkwell.
Yeah, the Giants running back.
Where the hell did that guy come from?
He had some moments last season.
He did, but not this.
No.
The Giants haven't had 100-yard running backs. I mean, they did earlier in the season, but before that, it had been forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, he wasn't putting up numbers like he was last night.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, he was putting on a clinic.
Now he does play Seattle this Sunday, but I still think he's a player to add. And just no matter what he does this Sunday, just hold on to him. Don't drop him. Hold on to him because he'll be startable the next week.
Yeah.
And then Wendell Smallwood.
Denver kind of looked bad as it was.
They did. And then Wendell Smallwood, Philadelphia, is coming back from his injury. I think he's going to... But right before he got hurt, he had a really good game. He's really involved in the receiving game. I think he's startable this week. We also got Deion Lewis out of New England. He's starting to get more and more carries, but that touchdown he had was at the 1-yard line, but it's because Gillislee fumbled earlier in the game, and we know how Belichick is with punishing players. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt.
I see Dixon picking up Lewis this week because Gillislee is slowly losing receptions left and right. I think James White is due back this week as well. So that might play into either Dante Lewis or Gillislee. So
that's why I never like having New England running back. It's just a shit show every time. Like you just.
Well, he doesn't like being predictable, so therefore it's not really easy for fantasy because that's what you want is predictability.
And your favorite running back that Mo played against you, pow! He's coming back from injury soon, probably. I would go ahead and pick him up and just stash him.
You have to stash him because if
the old man Forte gets hurt, which you will again.
If Matt Forte's there, they're playing. And clearly, I had to find that out the hard way.
Yeah. If you're the Matt Forte owner, love it. You may want to go ahead and make sure you get pow in your lineup.
Definitely. Our Mo may try to pick him up this week. We'll see. Devontae Booker showing up last week. Where the hell has that guy been?
I know. Well, he was hurt all year. He's going to make things murky. I mean, now if C.J. Anderson goes down, don't know if it's Jamal Charles. I think it might be Devontae Booker. He's the young one. He's got the freshest legs out of both of them. If I was the C.J. Anderson owner, Lubbock, I would go ahead and make sure I have Devontae Booker on my bench.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah. Tight ends.
Go ahead and move to tight ends. Now, this is my favorite tight end of the week. He's had 2 touchdown looks. Now, that first one was kind of bullshit 2 weeks ago. I mean, that tip catch in the end zone, whatever. But, I mean, he's definitely getting the looks.
Yes, he is.
The new quarterback there. So, Zach Miller.
Miller time.
Yeah. So, I've heard, like, kind of a mixed bag of our next tight end,
Martellus Bennett. Well, I think, Matt, you're going to be like, I told you so. Well, it took Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. And
that's all it took. You had to be, the only way you could be right is if Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Yeah, because Brett Hundley's got to check that thing down. And Martellus Bennett's going to be his safety blanket. Just like Zach Miller is being with Trubisky right now. Safety blankets. That's a term for tight ends. Young quarterbacks love tight ends.
Yeah. Ed Dixon is our next tight end. I dropped him after last week. I needed to pick up some other. I picked up Brad's drop, so he didn't do so great. But Cam definitely looked at it.
He trusts him. The targets are there.
Yeah. So it's just he didn't end up in the end zone. Didn't get all the yards. Cam was kind of looking mediocre last week.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Brad.
Well, my favorite tight end is George Kittle. Oh, San Francisco, sir. 2 good weeks in a row. And get this. The new quarterback for San Francisco has been named the quarterback for the rest of the year. And him and George Kittle played in college together.
This is true. I did hear that today.
Boom. I think moving forward, George Kittle is going to be I think George Kittle for the rest of the season is a top 12 tight end.
Okay, real quick question. Did you watch that San Francisco game at all?
No.
Okay. Please go look at the ASJ touchdown.
Oh, no. No, I saw that. That was definitely a touchdown.
That was bullshit.
That was a touchdown. Sam Bradford reached new territory with you and getting now calls overturned.
Yeah, because that was bullshit. I mean, it was against my team. Like, I was watching Kirk Cousins trying to win this motherfucker, and I'm just like, damn, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
You never actually lost possession of the ball. Yes, it fumbled for a second, but you had it in your hand when you crossed the line. Like, it was bullshit. But yeah, I agree. Greg Kittle he has a chance there.
Go get some Kittle corn and get ready to watch some fancy points go up when he watch the Niners.
I want to hear this one. Kittles and bits.
Kittles and bits. I like it. Yeah.
All right. So and then the defense here, stream of the week would be Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Rookie. I always like starting the defense against a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time, you're going to get a good week. And on top of that, I can throw this out there now. I believe the Saints are facing a rookie quarterback next week now, too.
I believe they are.
Yeah, so I didn't know that when we were doing the notes. But after what they did last week, you throw them out there. They do have a shutdown corner. The Saints do have a shutdown corner. Their first-round pick has been amazing. Like he has if you look back early in the year before he got hurt, he was shutting down number 1 wide receivers. It was just everyone else that was going off.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So yeah, Saints might be an interesting pickup as well. And then we have the Jets versus Miami.
Yeah, get your Marlboro Reds and light them because Jay Cutler's coming to town.
The Miami defense. Or was it the Miami defense that kind of showed up and stopped and ended up winning that game for him? Because I just can't believe that it was...
No, it was not Jay Cutler. No.
Jay Cutler did not win that game against the Falcons.
No.
The Jets have actually had a pretty decent defense this year, even though, their scheme of I'm going to lose and get the number 1 quarterback doesn't seem to be working out for them. They almost won that Patriots game. It was really close.
And if you're looking for a safe pick... Eagles defense, they've been consistent all year. It's going against Washington, but Eagles they're just good. They got a really good secondary. Yep. And then there's also a friendly league announcement due to us getting done with the waivers, and that is, go get your handcuffs! Yeah, go get your handcuffs, man! Go get them! Because if you don't, you'll be like me in the Cook situation, and it sucks. And you waste a bunch of WAD money on nobody.
Rodney in the Derrick Henry situation.
Yep. Now, I want to go ahead and 2 early playoff preview. Number 1 seeds, Dede Amiri. Number 2 seeds, Vincent Rod. Number 3 seeds, Mo and Lovick. Only 4 teams have a winning record. 4 teams have a 500 record. And 4 teams have a losing record, pretty even. But all are still at least 1 game out from the 6th seed. Season can still be turned around for any of those 8 teams. Lovick and Mo have 3-3 records and have the 5th and 6th seed. So if you're, if you only got 2 wins, I mean, you're all right.
Yeah.
If you got a losing record, you're in it. Sam, you're in it. You're all in it.
Well, it looks like, we're really looking for that number 7 win. That's the
I think 7's the magical number this year to avoid 1 trophy at least.
I think actually 7 should get you into the playoffs.
I think so. So maybe 6. 6 is the magic number.
6 should keep you out of the deal, though. We'll have to see on that one as the season gets closer.
Yeah. Week 7 picks, Stu, last week. Week 6 picks last week. I went 4-2. Respectable. Yep. This week, I'm going with Rod over Adam. Game of the week. I think it's going to be the highest scoring match between two teams.
I completely agree on the high scoring.
Even made a YouTube video for it. Go ahead, enjoy it. Yeah, I did. I'm going to try to do a Game of the Week video from now on.
You also use music that might be copyright infringement, but it's okay.
I
It's
use
fine.
what?
You use music in that, I guess, that might be copyright infringed. I don't know.
Oh, did we get an email again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We fly by the seat of our pants on this podcast.
Hey, Sam is the commissioner. If you're listening to this, if Brad goes to jail, he automatically wins the dildo.
If I go to jail, I'm taking Sam with me. He's commissioner over this. He could have ended this at any time, use his powers, and be like, I have to end this podcast. But he has yet to do so. He's too worried about Ezekiel Elliott. Dixon over Copro. No Rogers means no Jordy. No Cobb. I think Dixon wins that one. I got Mo over Vince because Gurley is going to run into a wall in Arizona. I think Lovick beats Matt because Des Bryant is going big in San Francisco. Stu, I got good news. Your winning streak continues. You're going to beat Day Day because he's got no Aaron. And then, of course, Sam, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to burn Kirk's van, and he's going to be pissed. And he's going to sue you because his van is burned down. But that's all I got. Stu, do you want to tell them about the YouTube channel?
There's one more thing here. Our water bet, our season-long water bet. We have Lamar Miller has 67 points for the rest of the year so far. Cooper is at 20 points total for the year.
Woo!
Which means that
Underdog.
Lamar Miller is running back 11 right now, and Cooper is wide receiver 81.
Ooh, can we flip those numbers around?
No.
Okay.
No, we cannot.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
So unless you got a water bet you can think of, Stu, I think we can move on about the YouTube channel and about somebody hacking it.
Well, let's go. I'm going to bet you that Adam wins this week.
That Adam wins this week. Okay. All right. We got a friendly wager. I got Rod. You got Adam.
Yeah, I'm going with the Guru.
Okay. I'm writing that down. Okay.
Oh, yeah, write it down. Go for it.
Okay. So, YouTube channel. Stu did not have the proper firewall up. His IT skills were very, very poor. And and all your Social Security numbers have been stolen. So
because I don't know why all your Social Security numbers are on YouTube, but sure.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Well, I think Sam. This is why he's going to prison. He stored them in the Google Drive that they got access to. So
if you get any random, possibly German emails, just delete those. Just go ahead and delete those on up. But yeah, we reset the password, set up some extra security for the Gmail account. Everything should be good now.
Now,
there is a new password.
If you get some emails saying your league dues are owed, don't pay them. We don't have league dues, except when we collect cash and give it to Stu for the cabin. But if you feel like paying money, Stu and I will gladly take it. I have two fur babies I have to feed. Stu has a real human being he has to feed. We will give some proceeds of diapers for Copro, So, but 9% of it will get spent on beer. Yeah.
That's totally true, and that's 100% correct.
Yeah, you got to store up that Sam Adams Oktoberfest before it goes out of season. Priorities, guys, priorities. So once again,
it's fall, fellas. Yeah. It's glorious out here. It feels amazing here in Conway. I'm just gonna let you know. But I think that is all we've got for the day.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Yep. See you guys.
Cold Stone Power Rangers.
The Brand New Fantasy Podcast is the official podcast of the Kappa Sigma Alumni Fantasy Football League.